it is a must for me to put this video in the main channel. I have talked about it in the previous channel which was deleted, and now in each point of these points I have talked about each one of them in a whole almost an hour video previously, and it was deleted. You can find some information here and there in my channel, this channel and the other channels. This point the whole world need to understand it, not just to review what happened last century and forget about it and the last centuries before. No, point one, number one, and I'll do my best to comply with the community guideline. Why you are uploading this video? Because I am checking videos in the YouTube, and I'm checking some Google, in Google some website, and it's all showing misleading information. Do not show you the direct information. So many people are taking advantage. So it's a must for me to say the truth. I hope that this video wouldn't be deleted. First of all, the Soviet Union, the Red Army, committed unbelievable crime to the young girls and ladies in Germany after World War II. And they committed terrible crimes even in some parts of Europe until they get to Berlin. They even call it the rape of Berlin. Millions and millions, okay, of rape cases. No one is talking about it. And so many girls have been killed among the white European race itself by the Russians and by some of the Eastern Europe, by what's called Soviet Union. And some of the Soviet Union are countries now in Europe. Jews was among, at the time of Lenin, Stalin, it is the Communist Party. They don't want religion. But people still had their own backgrounds. A Christian background and a Jewish background, okay? There is a lot of people, some might say these are not Jew and they do not represent the Jews. Okay, fine. It's just their background are Jews and they've committed a lot of rape cases. That's it. Are you gonna delete this video? They were in the Red Army and they hated the guts of the cross. I'm not gonna go in deep details why they have a problem with the cross, but they said this is the Nazi cross, and all of those who are used to be under the Nazi Germany cross must be raped and must be. So it's not only the communist, atheist, or those who have a so-called Christian background or a so-called or what's insist calling themselves Jewish with so-called Jewish background. It's not the atheist, communist, and those who have so-called Christian background who committed this crime. There is among them those who their background they hide it. But they shouldn't. They call themselves. They hide it. They said we are under this great leader Stalin, and they committed a lot of rape in Germany and other parts of Europe. Are you gonna delete this video, YouTube? They did it. So you don't just talk about Holocaust. Look what happened. Of course, they all Gog and Magog. Those victims of Holocaust are European who call themselves Jews. Okay, we're not dealing with Israelis like me. No, Israelis and people who belong to the Middle East, the natives. No, none of them. We're talking about I'm talking about the white race, either Russia or Western, who call themselves Jews. Okay, the victims. We just not focus about this is terrible, the Holocaust, the gas chamber, what happened to the children, but still, some would say it's a revenge. Fine, it's a revenge, but we should mention this. The proof is go to the Holy Land and check with some settlers who are from Eastern European and Russia and say, your grandfather used to be a soldier in the Red Army. Yes? Yeah, of course, before. My grandfather fought the Nazis, and now I am helping in this occupation in the Holy Land, and I am a Russian Jew, a so-called Israeli. My grandfather, many of them, of their grandfather committed something, like I have mentioned. No one is talking about it. All the talk is about Hamas and Rocket. Hamas. Are you gonna delete this video, YouTube? I mean, when it's come to the West, you're deleting a lot of rights, but regardless. No, the Mughal. The Mughal protected the so-called Hindus. The Mughal, when they entered India, there was some wars with some dictator leaders. There was some group, racist group, but the Indian community cherished them, welcomed them, showed them respect. I'm not talking about those who accepted Islam freely and happily. No, I'm talking about those who kept being a so-called Hindus, worshipping what they used to worship. And this is not the matter. They found in the Mughals protection to them from other so-called Hindus. Before the Mughals, the Indian used to destroy each other temples, commit terrible, terrible massacres, and a lot of genocide. Please study the history. So, thank you very much, Muslim sultans, Mughals. There is dark side, but positive side, light side in each human being. Even the mother sometimes can be angry with her child or the father. She just go away, you're a bad child or something. And sometimes, and the other light giving them gifts and hugging them, normal. The Mughal, in general, when we study everything, the balance, they are not messengers, they are not angels. They did a great job. Thank you, Mughal leaders, Muslim Mughal leader in India. Thank you very much. And let those who call themselves Hindu show respect to the facts and history. Especially those right now are bothering the Muslims. I'm sad. It saddens me and makes me sick, the lies we're seeing here. The point number 3. In comparison to what the Chinese are doing to the Eastern Turkmenistani, Japan is absolutely innocent for the crime that they committed last century. Right now we are dealing with almost so similar to the Nazis camps. It's for decades, tens and tens of years. In Eastern Turkmenistan, people are the natives and the Chinese are doing unbelievable things against them. Rape, killing, torturing them, taking their children, destroying their house of worship, taking their resources, doing unbelievable and taking advantage of other. Japan did something last century, did something to the Chinese. But look what the Chinese are doing something worse. And it's not only 4 or 5 years or an attack to a certain group and whatever in China by the Japanese for in a certain period, and then the Russian came and helped in creating this communism, and the American came and supported the Chinese against Japan. And no, it is until now the Eastern Turkmenistanis natives are under persecution from the majority hand of China. The majority who got nothing to do with the Eastern Turkmenistani are the natives there. They should have their own independent state. They used to have their own self-government, but up to 11 September, the inside job and things happened in Iraq and the reactions, the whole world reacted and said, Shishani and other places, said, come on Chinese, you are not a Muslim, destroy the Muslim interest. Are you going to delete as well this YouTube? It's fact. It's people are screaming. I don't know. I don't think I'm going to put it in the main channel. Because you keep on deleting my videos. So please, China, stop it. You and your Chinese virus. Stop complaining about the Japanese. And Japan, I need you all to know and understand what I'm saying right now. They should stop bothering you about what happened last century. Right now, the Japanese are civilized. There is bad people there and there. In comparison to the government of China right now, not civilized. Look what they are doing to the Eastern Turkmenistanis. Please, Japan, I stand for you now. Though there is some question marks here and there, but whatever. Japanese shouldn't be bothered. So China shouldn't bother Japan about what happened last century. Right now, the Chinese government is destroying the right of Eastern Turkmenistani, and the whole world is keeping his mouth. And so many, if you go to some groups in Europe, in India, they are enjoying what's happening to the natives in the Eastern Turkmenistan, because this world is filled with lies and sickness. There is good side, I understand. Good side maybe in some channels that for the children. Go and see some cartoons, maybe. I can't speak right now because there is people who speak English now, so I will wait. Okay, the borders. The people are saying, for example, he's from Kuwait, he's from Saudi Arabia, he's from Saudi Arabia. Why he's mentioning anything about Iraq? He's from Saudi Arabia. Why he's talking about Sinai? He's from Saudi Arabia. Why is he talking about the Bahrain or Qatar? No, doesn't work. Before the interference by Gog and Magog, before the interference of Satan, before the interference, dark interference and unjustified injustice, represent unjustified, the devil there, the injustice interference last century, there was no borders like the way it is. There was the Ismailian territory, Iraq and Syria, and part of what's called Iraq, and part of what's called Iraq right now is considered for the Ismailians, the natives there. You can even figure it out in some of the verses in the Torah. South Jordan, definitely, it's part of Jordan. On why South Jordan? People, 90% of Jordan is considered for the Ismailian. 90%. I shouldn't say South. Now, people, what do you mean by South? You mean this 20%? No, 90%. This is part of the Sinai is part of the Ishmaelian, and the Israelis are among them. The Holy Land, look, go to the map and see where is Jerusalem, for example, and the sacred city, and see how mile is from Jerusalem, and for example, a city like the borders of Jordan and what's called Saudi Arabia. This is it's occupied. I just want you to understand that these borders wasn't there. A big part of what's called Iraq right now, after Sykes-Picot, I don't know how to pronounce it. Kuwait, all of it. My grandfather, Muhammad, he used to be called Ra'i al-Buwayda. He had a small, you can consider it a bit, I don't know, something between a good villa and a mansion. And they used to, with the Turk, under the Ottoman Khilafah. And there was, I mean, honestly, if there was no interference, we wouldn't be called Saudis. There wouldn't be Gulf states. There wouldn't be any dark external freak interference that made me a slave. Saudis and right now calling for my right, and the West itself running away. You cannot. I don't know how to explain it. I mean, my grandfather Muhammad used to even receive an amount of money from the Ottomanic, in a matter of showing respect to him as a sheikh and not buying his loyalty, and protecting the lines of pilgrims. After the interference and all of this interference, it's not a matter of the interference, it's even things about what happened after the interference. So there was no border till Kuwait. The same tribe is found in the east of the Arabian Peninsula, and the center of the Arabian Peninsula, and the west of the Arabian. People right now say, but he's from there. Why he's talking about this is Saudi Arabia? Why is mentioning something about Iraq? No, you stop it. Not because Baghdad stole some parts of our Ismaili territory. The Israelis are among the Ismaili. It is one race. It is one culture. It's one. Don't bring me some goyim who are from the Gog and Magog, white or African, who call themselves Israeli. Lie. We are descended from Solomon. Stop it. Stop this. Stop Satan. You wake up. No, you need to. This is terrible. That's why God fight them. Rise the sword against them. They are possessed. They are under this. Don't delete my videos. Do not delete my videos. People are lying. I'm not gonna put it in the main channel. If you understand the instruction of God, you will understand that if you are not 100% Muslim, you are in deep trouble in the judgment day and hellfire, and you recognize that there is a higher intelligent power, and you understand that there is a darkness empowered by dark human, and you will understand that there is a creator of existence, and you understand that there is a kingdom of darkness, and Satan is the king of it all, the control. You will understand this. But this is not even if you're an atheist, it's good. I'm talking about facts. Stop lying. Stop your sickness. Okay. There was no border. Okay. There wasn't dealing with us like slaves. It's not good. And when we call for our rights, we are treated with disrespect. Palestine. I mean, either the natives there, the Middle Eastern, call themselves Holy Landers, or call themselves Palestinians, or call themselves Muslims, or call themselves Arab, or call themselves Kipa, or Shosho, or whatever. It's not your business. You have no right to come. It's never called Palestine. So what if it was another color? You come and steal it? Go back. It's not your business. It's not your business. The natives there call themselves Arab, call themselves Ismailian, call themselves. It's not your business. You go back. Go back to Russia, go back to Europe, go back to Africa, go to Abridja. Stop lying. You shouldn't call yourself a Jew. And definitely you're not Israelis. You are the biggest enemy of the style and culture of Israel. You're fighting it. You're making it distraction to it in the Arabian Peninsula. Huh, come on. Are you going to delete my video? Why? Why you want to delete my video? Look at them. They are destroying. You're enjoying this. You're enjoying when other human being destroying other human being from inside. You're enjoying it, man. You pay the price. I have talked about the democracy in so-called Israeli state and how this democracy is dealing with Gulf states. And you deleted the video. I'm not gonna put this video in the main channel. I don't want to risk losing it. Turks. Don't lie about the Turks. The Turks, at the beginning, the Islamic Khilafah didn't commit any massacre. Stop it. And if they did anything, they are angels in comparison to the Crusaders, to what happened last century in all parts of the world, in comparison to what happened in Africa by the white themselves, or Europe itself, just World War I, World War II. So don't even mention, the Turk did this against the Christian. Is this not your business? And you're not a Christian. Wallahi, you are not you're a crusade, and you are a worshipper of the Antichrist. Stop it. Stop doing what you're doing. Stop it. So, the Uthmanic, because of those who are non-Muslims, starting from the so-called Christian, they become nationalist. What do you mean by nationalist? Qawmiyat. What do you mean? Like exactly, I don't know how to. When someone have virus, and you need to keep away from him because the virus might come. I have coronavirus. I need to have social distance. If I come near you, you'll get it from me. What is the word of it in English? That's it. The Turks and the Uthmanic and the people there and the group who are not Muslims emerged by adopting these ways, saying we are Turks, like the France nationality. There's no longer cross. It's the Industrial Revolution. Both the manner of the church and the sewer and the leaders and the Caesars as well as they say, look what they did to the French king and queen. They chopped it. Look what happened to Charles the First. Charles the First. They chopped his head off. So what did it come? Nationalist. Before even World War One, far before. This has affected the Turks. The Turks start to become nationalists. And when they become nationalists, they look down to other than Turks. They look down to all others. Armenians. If you are a so-called Christian Turks, they deal with you with respect. But if you are a so-called Christian Armenian, they fuck you. Maybe they deserve it in Armenia. Look, we can go to the history and we see crap. Greece. The Greece who their history is about in slavery. They killed in Greece and Italy. These people who are natives there, among them the Mercidians, and the Egyptians and Indians and whatever, they know the history of executing an army of slaves there. This is your history. So anyway, if you are a so-called Christian Turk, you can look down to the other Arabs, even if they're Muslim. And if any of those, look at Arabs, they used to use this ball stick. It's called an Arabic khazouk. Can't speak it. People are coming. Of course, the judges here in England enjoying it. And they enjoy my band. Yeah, you enjoy. No, fine. My bed is not like others. I mean, go to Gaza, go to the Palestinian or right now killed. Go to the Iraqis and some. Until now, I mean, go to some bars in Baluchistan, Azaz, Kurdistan. Go to what happened, for example. And okay, understand. Now, but this is. I need to close. The khazouk called ball stick. They used to put it in the ass. Then push it until the khazouk comes from the mouth. This is a terrible way of execution. From where the Turks took it? From Dracula. Who's Dracula? He's a European. Dracula is a European real figure, real character. So Dracula is a real human being. If you go and check the films and movies, you see someone called Dracula. Dracula is a real creature, is a real human being who used to kill people in a terrible, terrible way and execute them. Check the history. Dracula, the Turks taught and took this way. They killed Dracula, the Turks. But with time, the other group, it was a wonderful way to kill people and make them terrorized from messing around with the racist nationalist Turk. Now, that's why I show respect to Mr. President Erdogan. Because if we compare him to the military who ruled Turkey, not centuries, not even at the time of Ataturk, no, just decades. Look what they used to do in the jails. If there is one incident right now, the whole world will start Erdogan using religion, Erdogan. Look what the military used to do, and yet no one is talking about what the military used to do to the poor people of Turkey itself. I'm not going to even talk about what. That's why the Arabs revolted against Turkey. So now you don't even mention any negative things that the Turk did in certain parts of the Ottomanic Empire, shouldn't be called Islamic Khilafah, especially at the end, until the end of it, saying that look at the Muslim, what they did. No, the Muslim didn't. It's you. Dracula, who is a so-called Christian, I have a problem even with the Pope. The Pope did the worse. The Popes did with the so-called Christian. It's you who brought this to Turkey. Nationalism, which means racial discrimination, especially at that time. I mean, there is different version of it. I want to put this video in main channel. They might give me a strike. It's good for me. It's therapy. I am. So the nationalism, I don't want to talk more so that the video wouldn't be deleted. I need to close. There is a gentleman coming. My nerve system dealt with a lot after coming here to England. To be honest, this guy doesn't speak English. Dealt with a lot of bad things, worse than before. So it's terrible. In slavery, the point in slavery, the Arabs and Muslims have got nothing to do with slavery. Now I'm talking about Africa. The authentic group of Africa, I'm not talking about the tribal crimes that are occurring right now. No, I'm not. For example, South Sudan, which the American non-Muslim and United States of America have welcomed it. I'm not going to talk about the crimes that happen between themselves and others. I'm going to talk about in general. And slavery starts within the Africans themselves. The sickness started with the Africans themselves. I'm not saying they are bad. Among them are wonderful people. Bilal, may Allah grant him, and he will be granted the absolute satisfaction. Bilal, like one of the companions of Muhammad, and every Muslim, we all know the wonderful story of Bilal. How Muhammad, peace be upon him, put him above the Kaaba and said, "You are more important than Kaaba itself, O son Bilal." And who took him up? Abu Bakr. And I have talked about this story. We have Luqman, peace be upon him, one of the great messengers of God Almighty. He was mentioned, and he have a chapter on Quran. There are people, African and others. You don't need to be companion of messenger or a messenger yourself so that you would be recognized as at the minimum the word wonderful. No, there is a lot of wonderful people, but in slavery start by the African. Yes, it did. So someone would say, but people took advantage. Exactly, the West, the Portuguese, Europe, American. Oh yeah, of course, yeah. And they committed terrible crime against you, African. I'm not gonna talk about what's happening in South Africa and killing the farmer, white farmer. This is revenge. I don't know. African started, and people took advantage in a terrible way. Arabs took advantage. Ismailian. What do you mean by Arab? Native Arabs? No, they didn't. They got nothing to do with it. Come on, man. Maybe Berber. Are there African who are black? Maybe. I don't know. Yeah, but trust me, what the African dealt with by the Portuguese and the American, and there is movies about it. It's far worse. But still, let's return back. Native Arabs? No, got nothing to do with slavery. Nothing. Berber, maybe. Some Copts, maybe. Among them, a lot of so-called Christian natives of Africa itself. They might not be black. So-called Christian of Europe. Oh yeah, they are behind it. Muslims, Islam is absolutely about liberating people from enslavement. It's got nothing to do. So you have no right. You have no right to mention the Qahtani or the Ismailian name when we come and start talking about slavery. They got nothing to do with it. When we talk about Islam, Islam is only about liberating human beings. Someone would say, why this happen? Why? Exactly like the name, the son of Virgin Mary, Isa, our Messiah, the Muslim Messiah, the Muslim Caliphate, messenger of God, who will return back, who got nothing to do with the cross and got nothing to do with Jesus, the son of Satan, and got nothing to do with peg of earth, and got nothing to do with the Crusader. The Isa himself is the biggest enemy of the cross, the biggest enemy of Crusaders, the biggest enemy of what those Europeans did, even if they put in their flag the cross, the biggest enemy of Adolf Hitler and the Nazis and their filthy cross and the flag. It's a personal case. I'm explaining about this because it's a personal case. Because you have destroyed so many people's life. I'm one of them. It's not the destruction that occurred against me is I'm lucky. I'm just lucky. You know what? I'm gonna say it. Allah yaj'alkum. God know it. Maybe I had a good childhood. Definitely I had a good childhood. Definitely. I should continue. I don't why I dealt with this shock after shock. Why? But maybe this good childhood is made me a little bit powerful. Maybe. I'm saying, is this maybe? When I said maybe, I mean maybe this good childhood made me powerful. But definitely I had a good childhood. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie against the father, the mother, the environment, the supervising. There's don't say it's the regime or the government. There was a good, especially father. Oh, the mother, she was good. Honestly, the family themselves are wonderful. But I mean, I should continue. My struggle should be how to become happy. There, yes, 1982. There's a lot of gas and oil things happening. Middle East. My case should be how to become more happy, not happy with all of these pleasures and uh, drinking and drugs. No, I'm just with the family. Everything is there. But why you made my struggle how to survive? Being away from jail, how to survive? Uh, how to survive feeling slave? How to survive? Huh? Answer me, answer me. Read it in Arabic. I have checked it. يهود اغتصبوا المانيات الأعداد كل المعلومات موجودة في مواقع الويب سايت. It needed a lot of research. المغول حموا الهند. هذه حقائق تاريخية. اليابان بريئة بالمقارنة بجرائم الصين في هذا القرن ضد الإيغورز. النقطة الأخرى لم يكن هناك حدود ويجب أن يفهم الكل حقيقة واقع الأرض الإسماعيلية تعلق وارتباطها بما يعتبر فلسطين وما يعتبر بجنوب العراق وما يعتبر سيناء. الأتراك وفهم التنظير للقومية في داخل الدولة ما يسمى الدولة الخلافة في داخل الدولة العثمانية حتى أصبحت تكاد ليس لها أي علاقة بالخلافة حتى أصبحت فقط إمبراطورية. دراسة تاريخ الخازوق. الحذر من أكاذيب أعداء أمة الإسلام أمة محمد لا أمة إسلام إلا أمة لله سبحانه وتعالى. الاستعباد. الإسلام والعرب الأقحاح منه بريئون براءة الذئب من دم يوسف سيدنا عليه الصلاة والسلام. Don't delete my video please.